Well, a very good morning and welcome to Guildford here on BBC Radio London, BBC Somerset and BBC Bristol for this, the final morning of what has been a fascinating championship game between Somerset and Surrey. And Surrey will start this morning 99 for 2, needing a further 168 runs to win. With Scott Borthwick 35 not out, Gareth Batty 4 not out. That's still an awful lot of runs on a pitch that has always given the bowlers something to bowl at and with, and it will not be straightforward. Somerset, I think, is still in the box seat with those runs on the board. They need 8 good deliveries today, and there is certainly going to be 8 balls that do something out there on this pitch. Good morning, Anthony Gibson. So it's going to be Craig Overton, who for me has been the pick of the Somerset bowlers throughout this game. And everything on. We're battling sunshine and dark clouds today.
I think my wise words didn't actually reach the listening population.
Oh, did you not turn your microphone on?
No.
Oh, no, Mr.
Here's
Gibson.
Overton in a bowls outside the off stump and pushed into the offside by Scott Borthwick. First ball of the day.
Say your wise words again for us, Mr. Gibson.
Which is there isn't much wind. The atmosphere is quite crisp, and you wouldn't expect the ball to swing, except that this ground does have its own sort of micro because of the trees surrounding the ground. As Overton is in and bowls outside the off stump to Borthwick. And the other point I was making is that I think a lot will depend on how well Somerset bowl at the Surrey left-handed. Didn't bowl very well at them last evening. They're going to have to do better, find a more consistent line, make the batsman play, and that's the key to exploiting whatever there may be in this pitch. And the odd ball is misbehaving, but you have to get the ball in the right areas. Here's Overton again, third ball of the morning into ball to Borthwick. That's attempted Yorker, which is dug out by Borthwick into the offside, and Tom Abel comes sprinting in to do the fielding. Big morning for Tom Abel. Somerset will want to maintain their early momentum, which has carried them, of course, to that Lord's final and the One-Day Cup trophy. The championship is the really big one for Somerset. Overton is in and bowls at Borthwick, who pushes that nicely into the offside. It won't go for 4. Jack Leach is after it. They'll come back for the second run, and that's what they will settle for. So Surrey underway this morning. They've brought up the 101 for 2. Borthwick goes on to 37.
Yes, I thought Borthwick and Burns did a terrific job last night. They really did. And Burns going just before the close for 48. Gareth Batty out there as night watchman.
Anton does the from backward point.
But it's going to be a very interesting, however long we have. Both sides will fancy their chances of winning this one. As I say, from a Somerset point of view, just 8 wickets needed. And there will be 8 deliveries that do something. No doubt whatsoever about that.
Overton is in and bowls to Borthwick outside the off stump, and given as a wide so far outside the off stump, was it? Umpire Paul Baldwin signalling the wide, so another run on the Surrey score, 102. Remember, needing 267 to record their first win of the 2019 championship season. Overton tries again. He's in and bowls, full length delivery on off stump, which is defended by Borthwick out into the offside. End of the first over of the fourth day's play. 3 runs accrued, 2 to Borthwick, 1 wide, and well, we couldn't from that over mark, but it didn't seem that there was any sign of behaviour on the part of the ball in that Overton over.
No, nothing really. It's early days, of course. I think you have to push that button, that's it. Well done, Mr. Gibson. Headphone problems this morning. And Jack Brooks it will be, down there from the railway end to get us started this morning. Picked up both the wickets to fall yesterday. 2 for 22 Jack Brooks has. So 2 for 22 for Jack Brooks. And it will be Gareth Batty, the man on strike. 2 slips gully. There's the cover point, extra cover, mid off. There's the mid on, there's a deep mid wicket, and there's the, well, it's basically a deep backward square. So Jack Brooks in his headband comes over the wicket to Gareth Batty, and Batty edging just past the right hand of Marcus Trescothick, diving away to his right hand side, and that's whistled off to the third man boundary rope and away for 4 runs. So a bit of luck for Gareth Batty this morning.
If there'd been a third slip, it would have gone straight to him, but there wasn't, and it was just out of Trescothick's reach. Would have been the perfect start for Somerset, that.
Would have been. As Batty settles himself down once more. Just the 2 slips in the gully. As over the wicket goes Brooks to him, and Batty's across his stumps looking to work leg side. Hits the pads. Of course, out there as night watchman Gareth Batty went his own way about it. Got through to the final ball of the day yesterday, and then I think in his mind it was, oh, I've got a free hit here. And last ball of the day, looked to absolutely smash it over extra cover and got nowhere near it. So it was an eccentric end to the day as Brooks is into him and Batty drives up towards mid-off, and Abel gets round to do the fielding. Throw comes into the gloves of Stephen Davis, and there is no run.
Do you reckon he'll look to score some quick runs, Gareth Batty?
It's the way he plays, yeah. I think if he sees it's there, he'll go after it. And actually, in a way, I suppose that's not a bad attitude to have on here. As Brooks is into him, and Batty's beaten. There you go. There's your first one of the day. Just jagging away from Gareth Batty. There'll be some more of those today, no doubt whatsoever about that. Just a reminder, Somerset batting first, 344. Then Surrey made 231. Somerset 153. Matthew Dunn 5 wickets yesterday. 106 for 2. As Brooks comes over the wicket to Batty, and Batty's turning leg side up towards mid-on, and there is no run as the throw comes in over the top of the stumps. And from a Somerset point of view, really just James Hildreth yesterday. Batted really well, did James Hildreth, until he was LBW to Ryan Patel for 64. But other than that, Surrey just kept picking up wickets throughout the afternoon session as Batty waits again. Brooks is into him, that's way down the leg side, and Batty gets nothing on this, looking to flick away down towards fine leg. End of the over, 106 for 2 then. Surrey.
Well, nicked through the slips and playing a miss, so some signs of hope for Somerset, but it's Borthwick that Somerset really need to shift. He played very well, I thought, yesterday evening. Had played in this once or twice, but generally it was a very controlled innings.
Yes, it was. I think he's looked punchy all season, Scott Borthwick, without going on and making a really big score.
He waits now as Overton is in and bowls, and that's on leg stump, turned into the onside, and the batsmen change ends for the first time. George Bartlett doing the fielding out there in front of the main scoreboard here at Guildford, into which the sun is shining directly at the moment, so it's quite difficult to read the orange figures on it, but that takes Surrey on to 107 for 2, so another 160 they need.
We did have rain this morning, had a heavy shower this morning.
Short and sharp.
It was.
Overton to Batty, 2 slips in a gully. He's there, he bowls, and Batty pulls his bat inside the line. The delivery foot or so outside.
Good number in. Good number in for this last day. We're not going to get a full day of cricket, we know that either way. But good number in to watch what's going to happen.
Overton turns at the end of his run. Comes in up to the wicket now and bowls. This is driven. Comes off the thick inside edge of Batty's bat. He was aiming at extra cover. It finished up at straight mid-wicket. No.
I think that's your answer of how Gareth Batty's going to play.
Yeah. Well, I think that's quite sensible.
Absolutely, definitely the way to go about it.
Short boundaries, fast outfield. So without cutting the outfield close of play yesterday. Here's Overton in and bowls to Batty, who gets one on leg stump and copes well with that. He's perfectly competent batsman is Gareth Batty. Would it be fair to say his batting's gone back a bit, Mark, in recent years?
Well, he didn't play last season at all. He didn't play a championship game last season because Amar Verdi was playing. But the season before that, he actually made his first 100 in 8 years. So I think it's more that he just hasn't been playing.
Here's Overton bowls. How that missed the off stump, I don't know. And Gareth Batty looks disbelievingly back down the pitch at the way that ball behaved. So there is still plenty in this pitch for the seam bowlers.
Oh, sandwich list. What would you like, Mr. Gibson? There is no coronation chicken or cheese and pickle today.
Oh, I'll have an egg mayonnaise.
Egg mayonnaise.
Here's Overton into Batty's there and bowls. Batty drives away through the offside, 4 runs. Well, he was going to go after that, I think, come what may, and it was in the slot for him, and he picks up 4 runs, and the score moves on to 112 for 2. After 3 overs this morning, then Surrey have added 13 to their overnight score without losing a wicket, and that's the important thing. Somerset need an early breakthrough to lift their spirits and to start making inroads into what is a strong and deep Surrey batting lineup, with Dean Elgar to come in next, then Ben Foakes, Ryan Patel, Will Jackson, Ricky Clark, all batsmen to be reckoned with.
Ham salad for me today. Wise choice, I think. Wise choice.
The healthy choice.
Obviously, last day, cheese and pickle and coronation chicken. They've had a run on those. None of that available today. So thank you once again to everybody here at Guildford Cricket Club for looking after us. As Jack Brooks from the railway end is coming into Scott Borthwick, goes past his outside edge, and there's going to be so many of those in what play we get today, because there has been throughout this game, and it's the P word again. Patience for both sides. It's the best word, really.
Patience, perseverance,
but no
probing. There's another P. That's what Somerset need to be doing.
No petulance, please, as this one's left alone outside the off stump by Scott Borthwick, just coming back at him.
That wasn't probing, that was profligate.
Ooh.
In the sense of wasteful.
And I suppose the batsman will be looked to be profiteering if there's a ball to be hit. There you are. Excellent.
Indeed.
It's like countdown, this, as he waits again. Does Scott Borthwick, as over the wicket goes Brooks to him, and Borthwick checks the drive straight into Tom Abel, captain out there at extra cover. Sorry, I've added 12 this morning, and that target, just a reminder, 267 from a Surrey perspective, so that's another 156 runs. And to put it into context, Surrey have to score the second highest score of this game to win, so it's a lot of work. As Brooks is into Borthwick. Ooh, that's short. Borthwick's missed out there. Looking to cut Scott Borthwick. He always played over the top of that.
He did play over the top of it.
Yeah, and it's taken by Stephen Davis, moving away to his right-hand side.
Wasn't a particularly good delivery from Jack Brooks, but then he did remove Rory Burns with a rather similar one, bowling from this pavilion end last evening, wide outside the off stump. Burns went after it and nicked it to first slip.
Over the wicket again goes Brooks to Borthwick's. That's nipped back, turned it off the stumps, played it nicely. Did Scott Borthwick down towards Tim Grunewald, and they'll pick up a single. Borthwick moves on to 34, 112 for 2. Gareth Batty comes back onto strike. But yes, that will happen for however long we have this game remaining today. Balls will go past the outside edge, because that has happened throughout this game. Jack Brooks over the wicket to Gareth Batty. He's using his feet and dropping it into the offside. That's good batting from Gareth Batty. Good running as well. Scott Borthwick responding to the call. Gareth Batty a couple of paces down the pitch and then popped it into the offside. Scrambled the single. 112 for 2. 13 to Gareth Batty, which incidentally is his number on the back of his shirt. And 34 to Scott Borthwick. 113 for 2, Surrey, here on BBC London and BBC Somerset and BBC Bristol.
Yeah, good test this of Tom Abell's captaincy. How he uses his bowlers. Breezy here up on the bridge of HMS Guildford this morning. Very pleasant, warm. Blooming cold yesterday evening. Here's Overton in and bowls to Batty, who plays that back, rather hollow sound off his bat on that occasion. We came off the bottom of the bat. Decent crowd in, enjoying the sunshine. More sheltered down on the perimeter of the playing area, which is where the crowd.
Ooh. Thank you to
sitting.
Surrey Strut, who says Australia are 38 for 4 at Trent Bridge.
Gracious me.
Oh my word.
Here's Overton in and bowls, and this is pulled and just evades Tom Banton at mid-wicket. It was a full shot from Batty in the air for quite a long time. Craig Overton just showing some frustration there that the false shots are not going to hand at the moment. Somerset need a break. He's just got to be patient, just keep plugging away. There's another P. He's got Scott Borthwick to bowl to. 2 slips and a gully. He's there and bowls outside the off stump, driven into the offside, and Tom Abell dives in vain at extra cover, and that will run away down the slope for, I think that was probably 4. Not sure what. I think they've just run the 3. I'm not sure about that. I
was actually not watching because I was looking at the scorecard for the Australia. Warner 3, Finch 6, Khawaja 13, Maxwell duck, and it's the quick men again.
Here's Overton in and bowls to Batty. Middle and off stump, and defensive shot from Batty. It was Jack Brooks who made the stop. And for my money, he was in contact with the rope when his hand was in contact with the ball. But
we don't have the third TV thingy, do we? It is windy on the HMS Guildford today.
It is.
We're flying along with the wind behind in the sails.
Overton has the wind behind him as he's in and bowls on leg stump, just outside leg stump, because that hit Batty on the pad, and there was not really an appeal, just a sort of shout as the ball beat the bat. And they take a leg by, and the score moves on to 118 for 2, so 19 runs have been added this morning so far.
It sounds like the West Indies are doing what they did in their first game, which is bowling absolute rockets. Cottrell's got 3, caught behind, it seems to be. That seems to be their mode of operation, doesn't it? It's a very good one.
No rockets here so far. Here's Overton in and bowls, and Borthwick pulls his bat inside the line of that delivery. End of that over. 117 for 2, Surrey. Exactly 150 now, short of the 267 that they need.
It's rather fun, isn't it, the West Indies? The quick bowlers running in bowling rockets, and then Gale just going out and trying to smash it. He's not running this World Cup, no. Chris Gale.
It's a very exciting brand of cricket.
That's brilliant.
Play, and it's good to see them back as contenders.
Absolutely. All good fun. Jack Brooks it will be from the railway end, and it'll be Gareth Batty the man on strike as Brooks is in and Batty's bowled, looking for the pull shot off the front foot, and it's knocked his off stump out the ground. We wondered how he'd play. There's your answer.
Did you hear Jack Brooks's come on?
Yeah. Well, it was a good come on from Jack Brooks, and Gareth Batty loses his off peg, and Surrey lose their first wicket. The Night Watchman's gone for 14, and it's 118 for 3. It was the way he was going to play, though, Gareth Batty. Saw it last night. Quick runs he was looking for this morning, and his off stump out the ground, gone for 14, and Surrey lose their first wicket. 7 more needed by Somerset, and another 149 runs needed by Surrey.
It was rather a wild heave from Gareth Batty, wasn't it?
Yes, it's not going to look great on the old replay, that one.
No.
Had it sailed into Daptune Wharf, we'd have gone, that's the way to play it. As it is, he missed it. It's knocked his off stump out the ground. And it brings Dean Algar out to the middle on a very, very windy morning now. So Algar is going to have a chat with Scott Borthwick. A punch of gloves, of course. Algar, formerly of Somerset, now of Surrey, scored some important runs for Somerset in his time with the visitors. Scored some important runs for Surrey. Been a little short of runs since that 100 at Taunton, actually. There's Dean Algar. You sort of need a nuggety type player on these days, don't you? And he's certainly one of those. 118 for 3 then. Jack Brooks comes over the wicket to Algar, and he's letting it go outside his off stump. And Stephen Davis takes that one, moving away to his left-hand side. Yeah, it was a guttural roar.
Could say that Elgar's come out to face the music, couldn't you?
Very good. I like that a lot from you, Mr. Gibson, this morning. Yes, indeed. Let's see what sort of symphony he can come up with. As over the wicket comes Brooks, and he pushes this one away into the offside. The left-handed Algar rolls out there towards Abel at extra cover, and there's no run. Can he hit to the right note? Oh, there
But he's got plenty of variations, and he's,
very good.
A bit of an enigma.
Oh, it's marvellous, isn't it? What a morning this is already. 118 for 3. As over the wicket goes, Brooks, and bowls Dean Algar. Not only bowls him, absolutely demolishes his stumps. Off stump out the ground, middle stump pin back. And Dean Algar goes without scoring. Now Somerset are on a roll. 4 wickets for Jack Brooks, 4 for Somerset, and Surrey are 118 for 4.
Terrific delivery from Jack Brooks. It was a full-length, late-in swinger that completely defeated Elgar's attempted off-drive. In between bat and pad, stumps in all directions. A really big wicket for Somerset, because Elgar is such a good player, such a determined player, and he's gone. 2 wickets in an over for Jack Brooks, and the complexion of this game has been changed in the shape of 4 balls.
Bowled by Jack Brooks, and good stuff from Jack Brooks. And Dean Algar, looking to drive it, just dipped on him late and made a right old mess of his stumps. Off stump was out the ground, middle stump was pinned back, and Ben Folkes is out there in the middle. Scott Borthwick's been watching all of this down at the non-striker's end. This was never going to be straightforward. It's a lot of runs, and Somerset, the team with the runs on the board. And Surrey, as I was saying, will have to score the 2nd highest score in the game to win on the last day. So it's going to be very hard work. Jack Brooks there showing exactly what can happen. We've seen it throughout the game. Clusters of wickets, haven't we?
We have.
Quiet patch and then a cluster. So 2 in the same over as Ben Folkes doing some stretching exercise down on his knees here. Ben Folkes having a bit of a stretch of calves and hamstrings, etc. 2 steps gully. There's the backward point, extra cover mid-off. There's the wideish mid-on. There's a mid-wicket, and there's a long leg for the right-handed Ben Folkes. 118 for 4 then, Surrey. Brooks down at the top. He's champing at the bit to get going again here, Jack Brooks.
Batted very well in the first innings, did Ben Folkes.
Yeah, 57 he made in the first innings, Ben Folkes. So Folkes has kept Brooks waiting. Brooks is keeping Folkes waiting, but now he's over the wicket to Ben Folkes, and Folkes is off the mark straight away, tucking it into the leg side. Good stop. Bartlett, I think that is it? Diving away to his right to do the fielding, and had that got past him, that might have gone away to the boundary, but very good stop. And Ben Folkes still stretching his legs out there, and the left-handed Scott Borthwick comes on to strike, and Surrey move on to 119 for 4. You can hear Jamie Overton there shouting away up at mid-on. Craig Overton in the gully. Hildreth at first slip, Trescothick at second. Sun's out now as Brooks is in to Borthwick, pushing straight back up the pitch. Good over from Jack Brooks.
Very good over. 2 wickets in it, and time for me to hand over to Johnny Barron.
Thank you, Anthony. Anthony will be back in 20 minutes' time as our first train of the day rattles along the tracks into the trees with the red and yellow and blue livery. And Craig Overton will continue down below us from this pavilion end here at Guildford, and Ben Folkes will be the man on strike. 2 slips gully. There's a deepish backward point, the extra cover. There's the mid-off, there's the mid-on, and there is a mid-wicket as well. Good morning to you, Johnny Barron.
Good morning, Mark Church. Very good morning to you.
So, Craig Overton with the ball in his hands and ready to come in from the pavilion end.
Here is Craig Overton, top of his mark now. He's into his business and is in to Folkes, who's defending off the back foot. That runs up to mid-on, and there's no run. Yeah, excellent start for Somerset this morning. Been very good for this position. 19 for 4, bit of polishing being done by Jack Brooks down there at mid-on. And another twist in this tail. Looks a tall chase, it has to be said. Here is Overton again to Ben Folkes, who leaves lane outside the off stump. A ball just nipping away.
Well, the pitch has done something throughout.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So you know there's going to be 8 deliveries today that are going to do something.
Yeah.
And it's, in many ways, what can happen with those 8 good balls.
Yeah.
Now, 2 wickets have gone. Gareth Batty and Dean Algar in quick succession.
Here is Craig Overton again into Folkes down the leg side on this occasion. Bit of a wasted delivery. Yeah, no, it's been a very good cricket surface. That's for sure. And last night, well, I guess overnight, I think I heard you and Anthony Gibson chatting this morning, 6-4, isn't it? 60-40 shot for Surrey.
Well,
last year
Somerset
probably 50-50. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Favourites in the fact that they've got the runs on the board.
That's what I mean.
Chasing it down is not going to be easy.
Here is Craig Overton. Driving is Ben Folkes. They got a single to the left of mid-off, and there's 1 run. Yeah, 60% in the favour of Somerset, 40 in the favour of Surrey. Last year, probably a little tighter, but it is a tall order. Chasing 250 plus in the 4th innings. Never straightforward, any form of cricket, 4 or 5 day. And especially on a surface where scores have been on the slide.
Well, we had, how many wickets did we have yesterday? Was it 17? Was 17, I think it was. Something around about that.
Mine 18, I think, with Burns at the close. Around the wicket is Craig Overton.
No, I think it was 17 because it was 5-10-2. So yeah, 17 yesterday. So that tells its own story.
Here is Overton, who's into Borthwick, who defends. Up to Abel, who's in there at extra cover, and there's no run.
Woodbridge Road quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
But dependent on what time we're here. Blue bus going along the Woodbridge Road. Be a red bus soon. Seems to be blue bus, red bus along the Woodbridge Road.
Here is Overton again. Right arm round. He's into Borthwick, who leaves alone outside the off stump. Good lead, but another testing over.
How was your afternoon, Johnny Barron, yesterday?
Well, yeah, mixed bag. Mixed bag, watching the lad play schools cricket. Came second, if I'm honest. Cheeky 25 not out, which is
very good, excellent
from the lad. But it was a bit of a scrappy contest.
Righto.
Was it worth missing the high drama here at Guildford? Well, who knows?
Of course it is.
Of course it is, seeing the lad play. No, it's
Absolutely.
lovely to watch him play. Nice place, Highfield School, that's just up the A3 from
Lovely.
here.
Worked out well.
Yeah.
25 not out though, that's good.
Yeah, he's got some runs for Hampshire last week as well, so he's in a bit of form.
Good.
Bit of form.
Good. Don't knock him out of it. As Jack Brooks just leave him to it. Jack Brooks from the railway end coming in over the wicket to Folkes and edged and caught by Trescothick. Oh, good bowling this from Jack Brooks. He's running towards us. Jack Brooks, he's off on a celebratory circuit of Guildford. If someone could get Jack Brooks back, that would be handy because he's almost got out the gate. But it's a good low catch from Marcus Trescothick, and it's 5 for Brooks, 5 for Somerset. Good stuff from Jack Brooks when his side needs it. 120 for 5. This is why Jack Brooks is worth his weight in gold in these situations. And very good stuff. And a good catch that from Marcus Trescothick, low to his right-hand side.
Yeah, very good grab. Very good grab indeed. And it's, well, it's a long, painful journey off. As Surrey lose their 5th wicket this morning. And 3 have, well, fallen in the space of 2 runs, and the writing isn't quite on the wall, but they've got it's a massive effort from here, to be honest, just to get to lunchtime, let alone any other ambitions.
Well, it's terrific stuff from Jack Brooks. It really is. And you can see what it meant to him, because as I say, I thought he was coming up. He's joined us on commentary a few times, but I thought he was coming up here then, because he was running towards the pavilion. Wonderful stuff from Jack Brooks. And 120 for 5. But as I say, that is why he is worth his absolute weight in gold. Jack Brooks, as I said, I actually did say to him, I did mention it on air, but it was his birthday alongside Ben Stokes and Bradley Walsh. And as I said, 3 of the great entertainers together there.
I mean, literally just roll off the tongue as a
Stokes,
3-piece.
Brooks, Walsh.
Yeah, all the big ones.
No, I'd go Brooks, Stokes, Walsh for entertainment. As
in a sort of cocktail environment or on stage?
I think in an everything environment.
Yeah.
So it's Ryan Patel, who's out there at number 7. As over the wicket comes Brooks to him, and Patel, who made a very good 64 yesterday, is forward to Jack Brooks and pushes this one up towards mid-off. But that was a good low catch from Marcus Trescothick. We saw him practicing this morning, and he doesn't drop a lot.
No, he's a terrific slipper. He's pretty good at every skill, really. Marcus Trescothick, 27 years in the game, not going to drop those.
Another 147 needed. As over the wicket comes Brooks, and Ryan Patel lets this one go outside his off stump. And Patel then just rehearses playing straight back up the ground. Bit more cloud cover now.
Well, it's swung, hasn't it, this morning? It's nipped as well. Perfect conditions to get the ball to get off the straight. And well, that hammer blow arguably was dealt last night with the dismissal of Burns just before the close.
Brooks in over the wicket to Ryan Patel, who lets this one go again on a length outside his off stump. And lots of encouragement for Jack Brooks. If you're just tuning in this morning, good morning to you here on BBC London, BBC Somerset and BBC Bristol. Surrey have lost 3 wickets, all to Jack Brooks. Terrific stuff. 2 in the 40th over and then 1 in this 42nd. Batty bowled for 14, Algar bowled without scoring, and Folkes caught by Trescothick. And Brooks got the 2 wickets to fall last night, so he's on 5 as forward comes Ryan Patel, pushes this one back up the pitch, and there is no run. But it always looked a lot of runs. 2, 6, 7. As doing some gardening is Ryan Patel. Tim Grunewald down there at long leg watching away in his short sleeve sweater, one of the stewards in their very bright orange tabards watching as Brooks is in and edged by Ryan Patel just in front of Trescothick, diving away to his left hand side. Excellent over again from Jack Brooks. The wicket of Ben Folkes. Folkes looking to force off the back foot outside edge. The only thing I would say is all 3 wickets have gone with attacking shots this morning. And 120 for 5 42. Borthwick's still there on 42, and Ryan Patel is yet to get off the mark.
Well, that's the beauty of this gorgeous game of ours cricket, isn't it? Because, you know, Surrey know, both sides know, they're not going to get there by going at 2 and over, are they? Because there's just something there and thereabouts, and therefore the risks increase because you're looking to take a chance or two to try and get over the line. But of course, those risks bring about jeopardy. We've had plenty of jeopardy this morning. Scott Borthwick is there on 42. Crucial hand he has to play here. Still batting. Still Will Jacks and Ricky Clark in the can. Here is Craig Overton, full of length, and it's worked away on the onside. There'll be at least a single, full toss in fact. So it runs out to, I think, George Bartlett out there on the line. It's a couple taken.
It's the other Overton.
Is he the other Overton?
Yes.
Is he not in the gully?
No, he's bowling. Jay Overton. C. Overton was bowling. Now it's Jay Overton.
Wearing... Well, sorry, yes it is Jamie Overton. I do apologise. Did this yesterday. Here is Jamie Overton, who is in. Pushed away. Thank you for the bus throwing, Mark Church.
Well, I didn't know how
always,
else to
always
tell
very,
you,
maybe
Darren,
a point on
really.
the scorecard. I'll store that up for later.
Well, you have been here 3 days.
Love a bit of brush. I'm going to call you Dave Bracegirdle. It's going to be your new nickname.
Plus, Jay Overton ends up standing next to the batsman on his follow.
There is that.
Yeah.
There is that.
And he's a bit quicker than Craig.
And he's a bit more lively.
And he's got a different name and number on his back.
He's got a different name and number.
But other than all of that,
apart from that, here is James Overton again. Right arm over to Scott Borthwick, who leaves lone outside the off stump. Follow through. Takes him pretty much next door to Mr. Borthwick. And there's no run.
there's the red bus. Head of the blue bus. Followed by a police car. All modes of transport there.
Yeah. Always busy, the Woodbridge Road. Whatever time of day or night, to be honest. There's always something knocking around there. Big artery, isn't it, the Woodbridge Road in Guildford. Keep the wheels of commerce turning. Jamie Overton. Right arm over. Is in. On leg stump, turned up to mid-wicket, and there's no run.
There's a hush around the ground.
There is a
transfixed by the action.
Well, there's a few Somerset supporters here, but there's a lot of Surrey fans who've would be hoping for the best overnight, but odds always stacked against the home side. A lot of runs still to go. Jamie Overton again. Right arm over into Borthwick, goes past the outside edge. Very good delivery that from Jamie Overton.
Again, that's what we're talking about, and Borthwick will just say, right, I've not nicked that.
Yeah.
And carry on. And Somerset will say, oh, a few more of those. He's bound to nick one in a minute.
Well, the obvious thing to say here is that you've got half a chance when you're in, haven't you? But getting in, just have to look at the cards. Loads of telephone numbers on both scorecards. That 137 by Bartlett on the first day was the killer blow, though. Here is Jamie Overton, who's into Borthwick. He gets a ball that nips back and strikes him there and thereabouts on the thigh pad, I think. End of the over. 122 for 5. Borthwick still there on 44. Ryan Patel, who played a cool hand in that first innings, is still there on 63, not out.
Yes, indeed. And there is a lot of work to do here for both sides still. But always had Somerset ahead this morning.
Yeah.
Jack Brooks outstanding. 5 wickets for Jack Brooks, all 5 for Jack Brooks. And Ryan Patel will settle himself down over his bat. Good to see Mr. Gibson's got his hat on today. Indoors. I think that was the hat he had. Oh no, I think he's got a white variation of that golf hat.
Yeah.
Very smart. 2 slips and a gully. Jack Brooks with his headband on, ready from the railway end, was about to come in over the wicket, but decides against it. And Ryan Patel just wanders off towards square leg. And will settle himself down over his bat once more as Brooks is in. And Patel, that nips back late at him. He turns it leg side. And the throw comes in over the top of the stumps. 122 for 5. Another 145 required by Surrey. 5 more wickets needed by Somerset. 3 already for Jack Brooks. 5 in the innings for Brooks. As down the slope he comes. Over the wicket to Ryan Patel, who's driving. Doesn't really time this. And that goes up towards mid-off. The other thing that hasn't happened, obviously, with the wickets falling, is any runs. So Surrey are slightly stuck at the moment, which is always a good place to have a batting side. Started the day 99 for 3, so they've added 23, but they've lost 3 wickets. So 23 for 3 today. Patel waits once more as Brooks is into him, and Patel punches off the back foot. Good shot, nice controlled shot that, and that'll run away for 4. It's got on top of the bounce and then just checked it. Ryan Patel, and away for 4 runs it goes. He's off the mark with the boundary, and Surrey move on to 126 for 5.
Yeah, it just releases a little bit of the pressure, doesn't it? Ryan Patel just getting a 1 away just in front of point. Waited for it, that was the key there.
Ah, look who's back on the roof. Been busy with international cricket. As over the wicket once more comes Brooks to Ryan Patel, who's forward, pushing this one back up the pitch. And there is no run. Sound of a dog barking somewhere nearby. So someone's brought their dog. I think I know who that is, actually. I think that may be a member of the written press. His dog. Marvellous dog it is. Takes it everywhere. Waits once more does Patel with bat raised as Brooks runs in over the wicket to him, and Patel lets it go outside his off stump. Into the gloves it goes of Davis, moving away to his right hand side. Delighted to see that peanut butter is being used away to my right with a banana. Very good combination that. It's very, very good peanut butter here as well. It's the healthy type. I was about to say the herbal type. I'm not sure you can get herbal peanut butter. Well, you might be able to in some places. As in over the wicket goes Brooks, forward goes Patel, pushes this one back up the pitch. End of the over, end of me. Johnny Barron to pick up commentary in a minute. He'll be joined by Anthony Gibson.
Right, Church, thank you very much indeed. Yes, 126 for 5. Still a bit of work to be done for Surrey. Batting wise out there. Borthwick going nicely on 44. Patel off the mark with 4. And then Jackson Clark. That's it, really. Then there's Morkel and Dunn to follow. But these next couple of partnerships are going to be absolutely critical if Surrey have got any chance. They probably started with a 40% chance. They've now probably got a 20% chance of trying to get home in this position. Anthony Gibson, good afternoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Morning, Johnny. Yes.
20% shot. Maybe a little more than that if they get something going here. Scott Borthwick is on strike and going nicely on 44. Here is James Overton, short to Borthwick, who's pulling it. Not quite in the gap. Oh, lovely bit of fielding down there at fine leg. That's a great effort down there.
Jack Brooks,
Jack Brooks,
the man at the moment.
Well, he's in the game, isn't he? No question about that, Jack Brooks. Brilliant cricketer, fantastic signing, and so it's proved. I found it hugely surprising there, eyebrows raised when he did find his way coming down to Somerset. Looked to me to be a very good move for both partners.
I think the only question about it was the fact that it was a 3-year contract at the age of 34 as he was then. But
yeah,
it's proved the doubters wrong.
Here is Jamie Overton short, and Ryan Patel just gets him behind that, nudges that away on the offside, and there's no run. Yeah, I mean, he promptly answered his critics by taking 20-odd wickets in the four championship games remaining last year, didn't he?
He did.
For Yorkshire. But I think if you're not going to be offered a 3-year contract at the county you're at and somebody else comes along, you're a long time retired.
And he's bowling as well as ever.
And he's bowling as well as ever in playing pounds. Very hard to replicate unless you walk into the Sky commentary box. Here is Jamie Overton, who's into Ryan Patel, leaves lane outside the off stump, and there's no run.
He's also fitted in at Somerset extraordinarily well. He is a genuinely, thoroughly nice bloke. in a team of thoroughly nice blokes by and large.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is Jack Brooks, the immediate, one of the good guys on the circuit.
Yeah.
You know, he's just well known for it. Always plays the game with a smile on his face. Yeah, hugely talented, hugely liked, and a terrific signing, and so he's proved in this game thus far. Wickets all the way through it. Here is Jamie Overton again. Right arm over into Ryan Patel, who's driving. Pushing, really. Up to mid-off. That's Tom Abel up there, the skipper. A few more shirt sleeves out there with the slightly better conditions than we've had. All that we have here today. Lunchtime, the next target for Surrey. Looks a long, long way off currently. Here is Jamie Overton again, who's in. Turner gets the ball swinging back into him and pushes up to Abel again at mid-off, and there's no run.
He's getting the ball to duck into the left-handers. Yeah. Jamie Overton.
Yeah, it's the kind of delivery as a left-hander, especially sort of going back. That is the delivery you're expecting. The natural outswingers, big side-on actions. Slightly different these days, because people have worked out that the one that nibbles away from the lefty in modern cricket that's made life much harder for them. Here is Jamie Overton again, who's into Patel, who's all driving at that outside the off stump. It's a horrible shot. It's an awful shot. He's a million miles away from it. And Jamie Overton almost gets his man, and he knows it. Ryan Patel knows it, but at the end of the over, he does survive unscathed, 127 for 5.
Interesting that Tim Grunewald is going to come into the attack as Craig Overton comes back onto the field. He looks to be limping slightly. Do you think so, Johnny? Just favouring his...
Well, these big tall men, I mean, they're rarely gazelles around the field now. I mean, to be fair, the Overtons are quite athletic, aren't they, as we've seen from Jamie, but it's not. I mean, the gait is a little compromised, marginally. Yeah, Tim Grunewald. This, if I'm brutally honest, is light relief compared to what they've had to deal with thus far, but he's still a very highly skilled practitioner.
He hasn't actually bowled very well in this game so far, though, Tim Grunewald. 5 overs for 20 in this second innings so far, and in this Surrey first innings, 1 for 45 and 14. But he needs to be right on his game. Oh, he bowled him! Middle stump out of the ground, and that's the end of Scott Borthwick. Well, Tim Grunewald has certainly shown what a fine bowler he is, and what a good bowling change that was by Tom Abel. 127 for 6, and Scott Borthwick has gone.
Well. Yes, light relief. Light relief. Did I say light relief? What I meant, this was a further test coming for the this much vaulted Surrey lineup. Yeah, Scott Borthwick is dragging himself off the field of play. That is one heck of a nut to get first up. I mean, literally, the stumps are big. I mean, they're requiring both umpires to put them back in the ground, which tells you just about everything. Ah, dear. Yeah, that's another nail in this coffin as far as Surrey are concerned. Wonderful start from Gromwell. None of this nice easy sighter, knocking out just about every single stump available at that end. And Will Jacks comes out at 127 for 6. And well, we haven't quite started the car territory, but Surrey are in a lot of bother. And lunch looks miles away currently.
I don't think Somerset will be counting any chickens yet. There's still a certain Ricky Clark to come to the wicket. But that was a terrific first ball from Tim Grunewald. In swinger to the left-hander.
Isn't it just? I mean, the stumps have been knocked over on a fairly regular basis in this game.
Very similar to the delivery that Jack Brooks got Dean Elgar.
Yeah, it was.
You know, very full length, late in swing.
I'm just wondering, 6 wickets down, arguably Surrey's best opportunity here is having a bit of a punt. I can't really see. They're either sort of betwixt I'm not talking about sort of wafty drives outside the off stump. I mean having a real proper
bit of counter attack.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you just concentrate on defence, sooner or later, something's going to happen. Here comes Grunewald. He's into bowl to Jacks outside the off stump. Not far outside the off stump, about 2 inches outside the off stump.
Oh, don't miss those. Yep. Just 2 types of leave as we go through on many occasions. That was just about one of them. Yeah, because I think what you've had so far from Surrey this morning is you've had a side slightly becalmed and then looking to have a waft outside the off stump, and it hasn't really served them that well.
Grunewald from the railway end is in and bowls, and it's run down into the gully where Craig Overton does the fielding.
But it's easier said than done, and effectively here Surrey really have 2 wickets to play with. These 2 partnerships. Walker can hold up at end, but it's a challenge. I mean, it's miles away, isn't it, this total? And the fact that
140 away.
Yeah, 4 wickets have fallen in the space of 11 runs.
Here's Grunewald in and bowls, and Jack's calmly forward, playing that with a degree of assurance and confidence out into the offside. Tom Abel comes racing in to do the fielding. He must be a very happy man at the moment. 4 wickets have gone down this morning for the addition of just 28 runs. And that after Surrey had made a pretty solid start with Batty and Borthwick together. Grunewald, right arm over the wicket, is there and bowls, and played square of the wicket by Will Jacks.
Yeah, last night, and Burns was still there, Burns and Borthwick, and the pitch was looking at a great deal rosier. Burns going before the close was a big loss.
Yeah, 94 for 1 has become 127 for 6.
Yeah.
This Grunewald, wind gusting. Appeal for LBW, didn't look very convincing to me.
Must be bat, otherwise I think he would have been in a lot of trouble. It sounded a bit batty, but without it, it's one of those that I think, Anthony, your finger would have been straight up, wouldn't it, if that wasn't bat from here? I think your perfect view up here on the SS Guildford.
Yeah, the appeal was by no means convincing, was it? End of that over, 127 for 6. That was a wicket maiden for Tim Grunewald.
We've had a few of them from that end. Brooks wreaking havoc before that. Gronville in on the action as well. And yes, Will Jacks, Ryan Patel, 2 men to try and get them out of a spot of bother. Here is Jamie Overton, right arm over, who is in to Patel, who defends off the back foot. Only as far as mid-off, and there's no run. Lots of claps and encouragement from Tom Abel, the skipper, out there at extra cover, understandably. Somerset know they almost have this in the bag. It would take... you need something like sort of Kevin Peterson striding out there, really, who would never consider it lost. And he has, unfortunately, KP's given up cricket, which is really rather disappointing.
Yeah.
But it needs somebody of that calibre, really. You're unlikely to find that batting at number 8. Here is Overton, full of length and driven nicely by Patel, but only as far as able at extra cover.
I keep saying it, though, but there is still that man, Ricky Clark.
There is Ricky Clark. I mean, Ricky Clark.
There's a touch of Kevin Peterson about Ricky Clark.
In
a good way.
In a good way. I mean, Ricky Clark is an enormous talent. 10,000 first class, sitting at number 8. Sitting at number 9.
Number 9. It will
9 in the card.
Because you've had a night watch.
Yeah. Batty, of course, using up one of those wickets early on. Here is Jamie Overton. Short, and Patel has cut nicely just in front of backward points. Got on top of that one. That's a length, actually, that nobody's prospered with really here so far. Bit of width offered as well, and struck away for 4 in front of square. Patel up to 8.
Yeah, you've got to keep the ball up to the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it sits up there, back of a length, to be honest. Width as well, you just need to get on top of the bounce and you're away. Basically looking for the batsman to push forward, aiming for the splice or top of off, really. Jamie Overton, right arm over from the pavilion end, is in to Patel, who's driving inside edge onto pad, that in-swinger again. 131 for 6.
Good ball, that one.
Yeah.
Just as well he got some bat on it.
You don't want to miss those. That's the thing, is that it's going to be striking you in front, you feel. Yeah, he swung it back into the left-hander, and then he's got the one that basically just holds its line, which Patel wafted at in the previous over. Be interesting to see what he conjures up here, Jamie Overton. Right arm over. Is in. Short, very short. Arguably yes, one over shoulder height. Given as wide. No attempt at a shot from Patel. I think in a one-day international, I think that would be given as a wide, or possibly a no ball, wouldn't it?
It would.
Very strong on those.
I don't know really why it wasn't given as a wide.
Yeah,
It wasn't really within the batsman's reach, was it?
Not with a step, not with the proper cricket shot. Although there's a few more of those in the manual these days, aren't there? Here is Overton with the James variety. That's pushed into backward points. Thought of a single, no chance for single. End of another decent Somerset over. 131 for 6 at the end of it. Will Jacks is yet to get off the mark, and Ryan Patel has 8 to his name so far.
And Somerset was doing this morning what they weren't really doing yesterday evening, which is keeping the pressure on.
Yeah.
Not offering too many loose deliveries. There was just that one in that over from Jamie Overton, which was a square cut for 4. But apart from that, they've been right on the money, keeping the pressure on, making the batsman play.
Yeah, indeed. More than likely, be interested to know what Surrey choose to do next week. I'll be tempted to have another go on this, I have to say. But
It's good cricket wicket,
isn't it just?
Grunewald then from the railway end, he's bowling to Jacks, he's there in bowls, and Jacks plays that off a thick edge down into the gully, where it's fielded on the bounce by Craig Overton.
He wins, Surrey.
They do, if they're to challenge for the championship.
Well,
I really can't see them being candidates for relegation.
Not with anyone going down. Not with anyone going down.
Grunewald then is in bowls to Jacks, who defends up to mid-off. Nottinghamshire are having a terrible time, aren't they? And
yeah, that's another factor.
And Warwickshire, even with Ian Bell back, Warwickshire still don't look a very strong side.
But I've heard the old too good to go down before, as Surrey have tumbled down into the second division 3 times in the last 11 years.
Grunewald in to bowl to Jacks, he's there in bowls, and the slips thought that was pretty good delivery. Another one that coming back into the right-hander. Will Jacks yet to get off the mark. At the other end, Ryan Patel, who batted well in the first innings for Surrey. Grunewald, right arm medium pace, is there in bowls, and again some swing for Grunewald, who was on the treatment table in the press tent yesterday afternoon, having some treatment to his lower back. And,
given by one of the written press, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, Geoffrey Dean wasn't. Didn't have the masseur's oils out. What did he get? He top scored 63. Ryan Patel in the Surrey first innings. But it's Jacks on strike, and it's a ball from Grunewald that goes straight on, passes outside the off stump. No shot from Jacks. And his teammates said, who were also in the press tent, said, "How is it?" And he grimaced. So, whether he is fully fit, I'm not entirely sure, but he certainly produced an absolute jaffer to get rid of Scott Borthwick. Here he comes again. He's in bowls. Appeal for LBW and out! That is the end of Will Jacks. It looked out from here. The only question possibly was height, but umpire Hartley wasting no time in raising the finger, and that's the 7th Surrey wicket to go down. Will Jacks LBW to Grunewald without scoring, 131 for 7.
Yeah, another good delivery from Grunewald, you have to say. And Will Jacks caught, well, you feel plumb in front from here. As soon as the appeal went up, it was just an inevitability about whether that finger would come up. And Will Jacks departs. And Surrey's problems continue. 131 for 7. Still an hour to go before lunch. I can't really see us with a great deal of cricket at lunchtime, Anthony, at this rate.
Well, one more wicket, and I think Somerset can
Relax.
start the bus.
Yeah.
But as long as Ricky Clark is out there and Ryan Patel at the other end, top scorer in the first innings.
Yeah, I mean that's crumbs of comfort is you've got a guy with 10,000 first class striding out with the first innings leading run scorer. But this partnership now has to be turned into something very, very, very significant. And Will Jacks arguably would have been the kind of character who might have taken the attack to the opposition. And I think if he's not capable is not the right word, but it just shows you how very, very complex it is out there.
He didn't show many signs of confidence, I didn't think, Will Jacks.
I think the problem is, I think if every ball is doing something, it plays on the mind, and when you see it all in front of you just unfold in a very quick fashion, difficult to stop the momentum. And it is the end of the over though, so James Overton will continue up here from the pavilion end. Ryan Patel will be the man on strike. Still just the 2 slips. Tempted to add a few more now at this stage, but always mindful of the runs. Somerset still got plenty to play with. James Overton is in to Patel, who's looking to push on the offside and ends up squeezing it out on the onside. Out to Bartlett at deep mid wicket, and he runs in. The single is taken, bringing Ricky Clark, Surrey's last hope, realistically, on strike.
Played well in the first innings.
He did.
20 in no time at all.
He did. It needs a bit more than that. It's going to need to be one of the great Ricky Clark comebacks.
He was the one who fell victim to that brilliant catch by Jamie Overton in the gully.
Yep, he's there again, patrolling in that little area. Here is Craig Overton, just worked away on the onside. Sorry, James Overton. And they'll get through for a single, but Paddy, the score goes up to 1-3-4 for 7. It's a reversal of the Overtons to the gullies.
Yeah.
The James variety is the man in possession at the moment of the bowling slot, and Craig is out there in the gully.
They're both equally good in the field.
Yeah, they are. Good hands, both of them. Ryan Patel back on strike on 9 not out. Here is James Overton again, who's into Patel. He leaves lane outside the off stump. Wisely. Although it's the kind of ball possibly that he shaped to play. Does carry a number of risks though, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it was there for the square cut.
It was.
The trouble is, if you go after it and nick it.
Oh, I know. Where do you go? Well, that's the problem. It's like playing the game. People say, "Oh, play the game with no fear." All very well. It's all very well. Here is James Overton, who's into Patel wide of the off stump, and there's no run. It's all very well, but when you are playing for your place, and even what is even still a very competitive side as far as the numbers are concerned in Surrey, caught in the gully off a rasping square cut, maybe not the way to be looking to go down. Fascinating to see what Ricky Clark does, though. Who just honestly,
I expect he'll answer fire with fire.
Yeah, I think he will. And look at the way there is a man who's seen there, been there, done it, isn't it? I mean, look at it. No crisis whatsoever at the non-strikers. Here is James Overton, wide of the off stump, going wider, really wide, and left alone again by Ryan Patel.
I just wonder if he's doing this deliberately, Jamie Overton, bowling wide of the off stump. Then he'll slip in the quick in swinger.
That's it. He's just got that natural shape, and even we can see it from the hand when it is the in swinger. What would be the out swinger against the right hander. Good technician, very well organised side this, and yet Surrey had them on the ropes on the first morning. Really can't afford those kind of things at this stage. Here's Jamie Overton. It is the inducker into Ryan Patel, who pushes out to backward point, and there is no run at the end of the over. 133 for 7.
Good over from Jamie Overton. Very good over.
Just Just have a little look. I think I might have time for one more. Oh, I don't. It's cheerio from
Mr.
me.
Church
I see
is
Mr.
going to
Church
come in
is
alongside.
back in the chair.
Thanks, Johnny. Johnny will be back in 20 minutes. You're listening to cricket from this Specsavers County Championship Division 1 match between Surrey and Somerset from Woodbridge Road in Guildford. I'm Anthony Gibson. Mark Church is just about to join us. Johnny Barron has just left us for 20 minutes, and this broadcast being brought to you on the BBC website, courtesy of BBC Radio London, BBC Radio Bristol and BBC Somerset. Tim Grunewald is going to bowl another over. He's going to be bowling to that man Ricky Clark. He's got 2 slips and a gully. Grunewald is in and bowls, and Clark plays that away nicely through mid-wicket. There's a chase on for Jack Brooks, who will just cut it off, flick it infield, not very effectively, but George Bartlett is there to clean up and keeps the batsman down to 2 runs, 135 for 7. Surrey, who've lost 5 wickets this morning in adding 36 to their overnight 99 for 2. Grunewald to Clark, who sounds bat raised, drives into the offside without timing. How do you think Ricky Clark's going to play it, Mark?
Well, I think he's an experienced bloke, isn't he? I think if he thinks it's there, he'll try and put it away. Surrey aren't out of it yet, but if one of these two goes, then really and truly you have to say Somerset have been great this morning.
Grunewald in and bowls to Clark outside the off stump, no shot. I think there is an argument. Attack is the best form of defence at the moment. The bowlers are being allowed to bowl and bowl and bowl.
Yeah.
They've settled into a nice rhythm.
I just think on this pitch though it's difficult, isn't it? I think you sort of know that there might be the odd one that you go to drive it and it'll hop at you. But what I like about this from Somerset this morning is it hasn't been the Overtons this morning, it's been Brooks and Grunewald.
Here's Grunewald in and bowls to Clark, who defends. Good ball on middle stump. Plays it up to Jack Brooks, who has 5 for 33. Certainly his best figures for Somerset so far.
But from a Somerset point of view, that's terrific, isn't it? That you got Overton's getting you in the first innings, and then you got Brooks and Grunewald getting you in the second innings. That's a good balanced attack.
Grunewald to Clark, he's there and bowls, and Clark gets an inside edge onto that. There would have been the mother and father of an LBW appeal if he hadn't. As you've probably heard the noise from the slips. Batting's hard work out there at the moment against some good, accurate, probing bowling on an unpredictable pitch. I think that would probably be the word for it. Never quite sure what it's going to produce. Sometimes extravagant bounce, sometimes a little bit of seam movement, a swing to be had. Even in this quite strong breeze blowing from the south across the ground. Grunewald is in and bowls outside the off stump, and no shot from Patel brings that over to a conclusion, 136 for 7. Surrey still 131 short of the 267 that they need to win.
Yeah, I think this morning Surrey looked back at Gareth Batty. Well, tried to pull a ball that he missed completely, and it knocked his off stump out of the ground. Dean Elgar looking to drive dipped on him. Ben Folkes looking to force off the back foot. I thought that was a great ball to get rid of Scott Borthwick.
It was.
Yeah, dipped on him and knocked his middle stump out of the ground. Yorker, and then Will Jacks. Tough, if you're first in there, you're trying to get forward, the feet aren't going anywhere, and just trapped on the crease. But good bowling from Grunewald. So I've just said on the wonderful world of Twitter that Somerset have been excellent this morning. Today now it's 37 for 5 today, which is really good from Somerset. As Craig Overton comes in over the wicket to Ricky Clark, and this one just nips and climbs, and Clark pulls the bat inside the line, so Craig Overton back into the attack to replace Jamie. But if you are harbouring championship hopes, it's these sort of days that you turn up, and as either the batsman or the bowlers, whichever way round you are, you roll the opposition. And that's what they've done this morning. They've been absolutely ruthless so far this morning, as Craig Overton is in to Ricky Clark, who drives straight out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope, and the throw comes in over the top of the stumps. And from this distance, every little part of the Somerset game ticking at, well, very nicely at the moment, in the fact that it seems to be, and Surrey were like this last season, someone puts their hand up. This morning's been Jack Brooks. Straight away this morning, hand up, 3 wickets. As over the wicket comes Overton, and this one's left alone by Ryan Patel outside his off stump. And I think if you're going to really be pushing for that championship title, that's you fight. Yeah, there's going to be 1 or 2 players that are going to get headlines the whole time, but there will also be, you look back through the season, and at key moments someone's put their hand up. Someone always puts their hand up, whether it's with the bat or with the ball or an amazing catch. Craig Overton is in over the wicket to Ryan Patel. Patel pushes the left-handed Patel out into the offside. Tom Abel comes scrambling up to do the fielding, and there is no run.
Yeah, I mean, a good case in point this morning was Tim Grunewald. Johnny Barron said as he came into the attack, well, this is a bit of light relief.
Oh no, he didn't, did he?
Did, yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes, the middle stump went cartwheeling. Craig Overton's in, and this is cut by Ryan Patel. Good shot from Ryan Patel. Bit of width on it, and has cut it away off towards the boundary rope for 4. Nicely done by Ryan Patel. He moves on to 13, 141 for 7. But that's what I meant with. Now look, I'm sorry, aren't out of this yet, but it would take something monumental from these two. It's still 126 runs required, and Morkel done. But for Somerset in this game, when someone's needed to, they've stuck their hand up, and that is the mark of a good side. As Craig Overton is in over the wicket to Ryan Patel, that just swings back a touch at him, and he's pushing it up the ground. And we haven't even mentioned Jay Leach. Now,
No.
The other thing there is that gentleman will come into play throughout the summer, especially sort of last days and pitches that might turn. This one hasn't turned at all, but you know, to still have it, if you can win this one here on the last day and not have to use Jack Leach, that's a very good sign. It means that your 4 quicks are doing a job for you, and you've still got Jack Leach in your back pocket when required.
Yeah, talking to James Hildreth last night, I asked him about Jack Leach, and he said, well, this is a pitch for seamers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the seamers who've got to do the work and take the wickets. I'm sure that's right. And here is one of those seamers, Tim Grunewald, coming in from the railway end. He's bowling to Ricky Clark. He takes him on the pad, and there'll be a leg by as the ball runs out into the onside. 143 for 7.
But that's a great sign, I think. Last year with Surrey, if one didn't get you, the other one would.
Yeah.
And that's been the same here with Somerset.
Yeah, and the bowlers have been well supported in the field so far as well. Fine catch by Marcus Trescothick, as that's played defensively back up the pitch by Ryan Patel. A very, very good low catch he took.
It was a good one. Yeah, they've been very good over these. Not there yet, but they've been very good up to this point, Somerset, in this game.
142 for 7 then, as Grunewald is in and bowls to Patel down the leg side. Patel doesn't get anything on it, which is just as well from the Somerset perspective, because long leg is quite wide. Jack Leach down there on the side of the ground alongside the Woodborough Road. Not so many spectators on that side of the ground. I think it's probably more sheltered on the Dune Wharf side. Grunewald is in and bowls, and that's played up to mid-on, where Jack Brooks picks up. Interesting that Tom Abel, even though Jack Brooks had taken those 3 wickets this morning, took him out of the attack, and it did the trick, because the very first ball that Tim Grunewald bowled
Yeah, good captaincy, wasn't it?
Did the business, ripped out Scott Borthwick's middle stump. Greneval in and bowls, and that's helped on its way down to long leg. Jack Brooks is there, does the fielding. It's just a single. 143 for 7. Yeah, I thought it went up the when they took that leg by. For some reason, they put 2 on the score. It should have been 142. It is now 143 for 7.
I think Tom Abel will be tempted to get Brooks back in again before lunch, though, without a doubt.
Grunewald to Clark. He's there and bowls. Clark drives away through the offside. Over-pitched. Handsome shot. Didn't move his feet, really. Good swing of the bat, though. Ball was there for the shot. And executed to perfection. 147 for 7 at the end of that over.
Yeah, Ricky Clark, with a shot like that, Ricky Clark sort of makes it all look so simple. It's not, but it's just imperious, wasn't it? On the up, bang. Through the covers it goes for 4. 147 for 7. 3 more wickets needed by Somerset. 120 more runs needed by Surrey. But yeah, I'm sure Tom Abel will be thinking, all right, let's slip Jack Brooks in again from that railway end. Not that Grunewald's bowled badly, but Grunewald in a way has done his job. Come into the attack, got rid of Borthwick, got rid of Jacks. Craig Overton from the pavilion end comes round the wicket, and this is left alone by Ryan Patel. He's coming back at him. Outside his off stump, taken by Stephen Davis, moving away to his right hand side. As doing some gardening outside that off stump is Ryan Patel, a gentleman there in a singlet, which is very, very brave, walking in front of the sight screen on a day like today.
I suspect it's quite warm down at ground level.
I always think it's brave to wear a singlet at any time,
yeah.
But on a day like today, cool dear. As Abel's just gone a bit deeper at extra cover. As Craig Overton is in to Ryan Patel, cuts for 4. It's a good shot from Ryan Patel, just a little bit of width on that, and Ryan Patel's leant back and flung his hands through it, and that brings up the 150 for Surrey. 151 for 7. The other thing, this is going to sound an awful thing to say, Mr. Gibson, but I think you have to have the right physique as well to wear a singlet.
You wouldn't catch me wearing a singlet, no. I'll tell you that.
I'll give you, during my run I did, guess who was the one person to wear a singlet on the legs that they did with me?
Johnny Barron.
Yes. As round the wicket comes Craig Overton, and forward goes Ryan Patel, pushes out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope, and that was mid-November as the throw comes in.
He has got a very fine physique.
He has, well, he tells us he has. 152 for 7. And on to strike comes Ricky Clark on 8. Patel's moved on to 19. Another train just slowly going along the tracks over the bridge down there in the distance. As Craig Overton over the wicket to the right-handed Clark. Clark pushes back up the pitch. Rolls up towards mid-on, and there's no run. The Woodbridge Road Cafe was busy this morning. I was looking at the picture of the mega breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
And that you can't take the challenge during busy times. I think because it takes so long to cook it all.
I don't think I would want to take the
challenge
under any circumstances. It wouldn't. Not if I was got a day's cricket commentary.
As over the wicket again goes Craig Overton, and forward once more goes Ricky Clark. Pushes this one back up the pitch, and there's no run. Bubble and squeak you can have in there. Proper breakfast if you want it. Chips with your breakfast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so 152 for 7. 2 slips, gully, sweeper on the cover rope, extra cover, wideish mid off, wideish mid on, mid wicket, and the long leg. As Craig Overton is over the wicket to Ricky Clark, and that's coming back at Clark, tries a catch it because Ricky Clark was shaping to drive that. It's come back at him late. He's just indicating that to Ryan Patel or whoever's watching. He's almost in adjusting, toppled and chipped it up towards mid-on, but just checked the shot at the last moment. Good adjustment, good bowling from Craig Overton. 152 for 7 then Surrey. And 3 more wickets needed by Somerset on this last day, and 115 more runs needed by Surrey.
Yep, and tweet from Richard Winter this morning saying he was hiding behind the sofa. It was so exciting. And I have to say, if I wasn't commentating, if I was at home, I would have turned the radio off now, and just gone and done some gardening or some work or whatever, and then turn it back on in half an hour and see if there are any wickets fallen. Can't do that if you're commentating. Grunewald is in and bowls round the wicket to the left-handed Patel. But funny enough, I get much more nervous if I'm not at the ground.
Yeah, interesting.
About results. If you're actually here, well, there's a sort of fatalism about it. You know, what will be will be. Here's Grunewald in and bowls to Patel. Edges on the bounce down to Craig Overton in the gully. Scoops it up.
Well, players always say, don't they, they'd rather be out there in the middle than watching.
Yes,
because you've got no control on what's going on from the dressing room.
Because as a commentator, one is almost involved. I know you're, by definition, you're commentating on what's happening out there, but one does get very bound up in the action. Here's Grunewald in and bowls. Takes Patel on the pads, but sliding down the leg side, signalled as a leg by umpire Hartley. 153 for 7.
Well, I think you're bound to, aren't you? I think, and I always find it very interesting. Someone like Joss Buttler wants to be out there. I love Joss Butler's attitude in one-day cricket, in that I've heard him say, I like knowing what the equation is. I don't care what it is. I just like knowing what I've got to do. It's simple then.
Grunewald coming over the wicket to the right-handed Clark. He's there and bowls. Clark defends up to mid-off. Ball comes right out of the middle of his bat.
And in many ways, it's just a very simple confidence, isn't it? In that, personally, I'd be hiding in the dressing room, not wanting to go out there. But Joss Buttler, I heard him talking about it. He says, right, I know what the equation is. I know what I've got to do. I've got to get 180 off however many overs. It's easy, simple.
Grunewald to Clark, who tries, caught behind by Stephen Davis. That's a big wicket. It was a poor shot from Ricky Clark. He went after a wide one. He got a nick on it, and Steve Davis flung himself across to his right in front of first slip to take the catch, and that's the 8th Surrey wicket to go down with the score on 153. They're still 114 short of the 267 that they need, and only 2 wickets left. And perhaps one of the biggest obstacles to a Somerset win has just been removed with the dismissal of Ricky Clark. 153 for 8.
Yeah, that's a big wicket for Somerset. He's been in great form this season, Ricky Clark. He'll be annoyed with that wide one. Went after it, big edge, and a very, very good catch from Stephen Davis, diving away to his right hand side. Morné Morkel still wants, before his career comes to end, to score a first class 100. It's one of his main aims. Today would be a good day.
It would be a very good day.
He'd do well to do it, but it would be a good day. But no, very good from Grunewald again. He's picked up 3 now. And great bowling changes from Tom Abel, in that Brooks picked up 3 and Grunewald's picked up 3, and Surrey find themselves 8 wickets down, still 114 runs adrift from a victory target. So Somerset must be feeling confident now, and they've been very good this morning. Good catch that from Stephen Davis.
It was. He anticipated it well. I think even as Clark was going for the shot, I think he felt that there might be an edge. And he's such a good wicketkeeper, Stephen Davis. He doesn't miss those. Right. Well, just Morné Morkel and Matt Dunn remain of the, of course, Ryan Patel.
Well, the other thing is they've got 3 left-handers now, so they don't need to worry about adjusting the field and all that good stuff. They've got 3 left-handers. The only thing that will change is they'll want Ryan Patel off strike. They'll want to bowl at Morkel and Dunn.
Morkel will presumably play his natural game, go for his shots. He waits now as Grunewald is in and bowls and gets a good one, ducking in at him, which he actually plays pretty well out into the onside end of that over. Well bowled, Tim Grunewald. His third wicket. His figures are, I can reveal to you, oh, that's out of date. I'll tell you as soon as this, and then I'll make way for Johnny Barron.
Well, you hover, Mr. Gibson,
I
because
will
if another
hover. He's
wicket
got
comes down, you jump back on.
3 for 28 in 10.
3 for 28.
3 for 28 in 10.
Very
Good
good.
bowling.
Very good bowling indeed.
And he was, of course, the Surrey light relief.
Indeed, yes, that went well. As Craig Overton down below us from the pavilion end to continue, and Ryan Patel will be the man on strike. 2 slips and a gully. As around the wicket goes Craig Overton to Patel, and that's short, and that's pulled by Patel. Great shot, that's 6. That's into Dapjune Wharf. Might have a delay here. That's gone. That's over the trees and into Dapjune Wharf. We're going to need another ball. Great shot from Ryan Patel, banged in by Craig Overton, and Ryan Patel's just swung it off the front foot into Dapjune Wharf. So a slight delay here as Johnny Barron returns.
Well, that's the way to go, isn't it?
159 for 8. Not really the length. I think Craig Overton will sort of think to himself, probably not the length on this wicket, but nicely put away by Ryan Patel. He's played well in both innings now. 25 not out and 64 in the first innings as well for Ryan Patel. And Roelof van der Merwe brings the box of balls out, so they're going to try and find one that looks around about 55 overs old, because that one's wet now. That would have gone straight into the wharf.
Yeah, you're going to do well to go and find that little one round the back. Safe to say.
Well, that was the area that Aaron Finch slog swept his first ever ball for Surrey in Championship cricket from Jeetan Patel straight into the wharf.
Didn't he hit a 6 in all formats? First ball.
I think he has in most,
certainly did
for most teams, didn't he?
Yeah.
Aaron Finch, he hasn't today though.
No, I think they're in the spot of bother. 81 for 5 last time I looked, but that was about half an hour ago.
Right, we've got another ball now, that's good. So Craig Overton has it in his hands. Now, Surrey will be hoping that this one doesn't swing or do anything.
Yeah.
So that Ryan Patel, having stuck that ball that this morning has brought 6 wickets for Somerset in the river, that the one they've just taken out the box won't do anything. I'd be surprised, but stranger things have happened. It might do more. So, Craig Overton coming round the wicket to Ryan Patel, and that's nipping back at Ryan Patel. That's done a bit, and hits him on the back pad and rolls away down into the gully, and there's no run.
Better length, safe to say, from Mr. Overton.
He's been impressive in this game. I was just saying to Anthony, what's impressive about this from Somerset is that, so the 2 Overtons caused a bit of chaos in the first innings, and then it's been Brooks and Grunewald in the second innings, and you haven't even had to turn to Jack Leach. So that's the mark of a good bowling attack. That if one doesn't get you, someone else will. Craig Overton comes around the wicket to Ryan Patel, who drives handsomely, stood up straight and driven this out towards the cover boundary ropes. Good sweeping. They'll get back for 2. 2 more to the total. 2 more to Ryan Patel. He moves on to 27, and Surrey move on to 161 for 8.
Well, the right approach, isn't it? 8 runs off the over so far. The only way to win this is having a bit of a punt, but it's measured cricket, isn't it, from Ryan Patel? He's taken the short ball on, and then he's played a lovely square cut through extra cover. All good cricket shots.
Craig Overton round the wicket to Patel, and Patel covers up, pushes this one straight back up the pitch. Craig Overton does the fielding off his own bowling, and there's no run. So I think Clark will be annoyed with himself for that shot. I think Gareth Batty will be annoyed with himself for his shot this morning. Ben Folkes looking to force off the back foot as Craig Overton is in, and this is cut by Ryan Patel straight to gully, and it's brother Jamie who hangs on. I think he was looking to run it down to third man, and he's actually just cut it straight to gully, and that's 161 for 9, and it's looking like this will all be over before lunch on this final day. Good catch from Jamie Overton off brother Craig, and you could see exactly what he was up to there. Ryan Patel was just trying to run that off down towards third man, but actually just guided it straight to the big hands of Jamie Overton. And Ryan Patel goes. Anthony Gibson, I think, will come marching back up. He can take my place, Johnny Barron, and we should have Anthony on air, and it's 161 for 9.
Yes, just Matthew Dunn is the final man as far as Surrey are concerned, and it's been a very, very, very strong performance by Somerset. Surrey had their opportunities on that first morning, allowed George Bartlett to get, well, what was it, 137, and from that point onwards, 344 in the first innings that Somerset scored. Always looked miles ahead of what this pitch was capable of as the game developed, and so it's transpired. And Anthony, I have to say that Somerset have been well worth this victory, which you assume is around the corner unless something utterly extraordinary is about to happen, but I'm not sure it will be.
Yeah, they've bowled really well, I think, Somerset this morning. Almost goes without saying. Well, they picked up 8 wickets for 62 for 8, sorry, this morning. And credit to all the bowlers. That wasn't a very good shot by Ryan Patel, was it?
No, it wasn't. I can see what he's trying to do. He's taken 8 off the over. Just right. I mean, the problem is, in both innings, he's run out of partners, and that's never straightforward.
Well, the margin of victory now would be 105, as Overton is in and bowls to Matt Dunn, who plays a defensive shot into the offside end of that over. Overton over, 161 for 9. Surrey, and one would assume that the end is nigh, but with cricket you never can tell.
Yes, I mean, well, the last dramatic 10th wicket partnership I can think of was in South Africa, of course, that dramatic test win by Sri Lanka where they needed, 72, I think,
yes,
for the final wicket,
right,
and
yeah,
got there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure lightning is going to strike in this particular neck of Guildford.
And of course they actually started off pretty well this morning, sorry. They were 118 for 2 at one stage, so they've lost. Here's Grunewald in bowls. That's hit in through the covers, but not past Tom Abel, who makes a very good stop at extra cover. So they've lost 7 wickets for 43 since then.
Yeah, heavy.
Which is very similar to what Somerset did yesterday, isn't it?
I mean, that was the thing. Is this apart from that, the problem was that first innings. You know, that is a lot of runs, 3-4-4 to concede on this.
It's Grunewald in and bowls, and that's down the leg side, and well taken by Stephen Davis.
I mean, what Somerset have done to Surrey here is what Surrey were doing to so many sides last year. Often Surrey would find themselves playing on fairly sporting surfaces and would get way over the odds run-wise in the first innings and then demolish a side from that point onwards. Well, that's been the kind of tail of the tape here as well, in reverse.
Here's Grunewald then, into bowl to Morkel. He's there and bowls. Morkel, that's up in the air and will land safely as George Bartlett comes round to do the fielding. They take just the single, 162 for 9. Somerset do polish this Surrey innings off. It'll be their 4th win of the championship season. Take them above Hampshire.
Yeah.
They will take 16 and 6, 22 points from the game. They're not there yet. Here's Grunewald into Dunn, drives, misses, and the ball's taken by Stephen Davis.
That, I think, will be around about a 50-point lead over Surrey, who've got no wins in the table. And yes, can kiss their retain the championship hopes goodbye.
Yes, it'll be a long road back, wouldn't it? Grunewald then, from the railway end, he's in bowls to Dunn, who drives without timing it at all, and Grunewald does the fielding and his follow through.
I think what will frustrate Surrey across the last couple of championship games, if we look at those in isolation, is they let Warwickshire horribly off the hook. 183 for 8 they were last week. They put another 100 on those. and they've done exactly the same this week as well.
Grunewald over the wicket. He's in, bowls to Dunn. Dunn drives and misses again. Taken by Stephen Davis. End of the over, 162 for 9. Sorry, but you could argue, Johnny, that that first morning when Surrey had Somerset 35 for 3, and then first ball, George Bartlett nicked it to first slip, where Ricky Clark dropped a relatively straightforward catch. It should have been 35 for 4.
Absolutely.
And this game could have had a very, very different outcome.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance that Somerset would have got up to 3-4-4 with that if that moment had gone as you'd expect. But it wasn't to be, and they, letting sides off the hook. They didn't do that at all last year. Never. But they've done it here, and they've done it last week.
Right, Craig Overton going round the wicket to the left-handed Morkel. He's there and bowls, and Morkel will pick up a single into the onside. 163 for 9. 267 is the theoretical target for Surrey, who have lost 7 wickets this morning in adding 64 runs to their overnight 99 for 2. Craig Overton bowling well within himself. He's there, he bowls to Dunn, who tucks that away down to long leg for his first run. Matthew Dunn, tall, he's very well built, quick bowler, isn't he, Matthew Dunn? Tall, strong, broad-shouldered. He was born to be a fast bowler.
Yeah, he's had a good week, Matthew Dunn, because coming back into the side after such a period out of regular first team cricket. Bowled well at Warwickshire, picking up 5 yesterday. Bowled well.
Overton to Morkel. Morkel drives and is caught, and that is Jack Leach takes the catch, and that is the win for Somerset. They have beaten Surrey by 103 runs and will take 22 points from this championship match. 16 for the win, 6 bonus points, 3 batting and 3 bowling. They've bowled Surrey out for 163 here this morning, with Craig Overton taking the last wicket, but maybe Jack Brooks taking the bowling honours by taking those 3 wickets early in this morning's session, just when Batty and Borthwick seemed to be going along reasonably calmly. They'd reached 118 for 2, and it was very much game on. But Jack Brooks weighed in with those 3 wickets, finishing with 5 for 33, and a tremendous win for Somerset.
Yeah, fantastic win for Somerset, who've been terrific value for it. And it's one of those games, isn't it, when the run trend is downwards, you very rarely bucket in the 4th innings when you're looking to chase down. It always looked a really huge chase. That dismissal, of course, of Burns last night, and then the flurry of wickets this morning to Jack Brooks's brilliant work up from the railway end has seen to Surrey. Morkel and Dunn leading off from a Surrey batting point of view, and Brooks is leading off the Somerset side. He's done terrifically well, but another win, and Surrey are out of the picture, it's safe to say, and Somerset and Hampshire will look as if they're going to go toe-to-toe through the remainder of the season.
Yep, Somerset go top of the Division 1 Championship table. They will have 96 points after this win here today. The margin of victory 102 runs. Hampshire will be in second. They've taken 81 points from their 5 matches, both teams having played 5 matches. Somerset next go to Canterbury to play Kent, who they defeated in the first match of the season at Taunton, and they will go with their spirits as high as can possibly be. Victory at Lord's on a week ago on Saturday, and now in their first match in the championship since that win at Lord's, a terrific win over Surrey here at Guildford by 102 runs. Hope you've enjoyed the... Does Mark Church want to come in and say a few words? No? Hope you've enjoyed the coverage from Guildford over the last 4 days. It's been a good game of cricket, Johnny, hasn't it? On a good cricket wicket.
Yeah, it's been a terrific wicket for cricket. Absolutely fantastic, and just 3-4-4, a lot in that first innings, and that really was the tail of the tape from that. But yeah, Surrey have to pick themselves up and go again Monday here.
And Somerset march on to Canterbury and Kent, and you can hear full commentary on Surrey's next match and Somerset's next match on the BBC website. But for the moment, from myself, Anthony Gibson, from Johnny Barron and from Mark Church, it's goodbye from Woodbridge Road in Guildford.